I am back and still making more stuff for Intopolis. And by the way, I have a logo now for the game project. This is recent news. So yeah, let me bring it up here in the Discord. So this is what it looks like. And I'm playing around with inverts a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and announce this stream here in my streaming section. This is the Patreon Discord. Alright, so what do we have here? I've got a little bit of grunt work coming up. Not too bad, but I'm making some like solar petals. They're supposed to be these kind of whispery, fluttery kind of structures that are going to be, yeah, solar panels. And so this is just a plain mapping, and so I have a custom 3ds Max, like a Max script that basically stacks images in a sequence based on file name and a folder directory. And so you can see how this kind of works over time, but I want to kind of cull every 3 of them. I think that I want a more rapid transition. So let's do that, and I can always squish them down later. And I've got a little bit of grunt work coming up. I found from experience that manipulating planes is a pain in the neck. The reason being that oh, these are meshes, not polys. Weird. I'm going to convert these all to poly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the excess, all the negative space where there's no texture at all. And so I've got a neat little technique for that. I've got all my planes here all ready to go. To make things simple, I'm going to go ahead and delete every other 3 here. These are no longer relevant. Yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. The red grid, the Audacity for on Twitch says, "Ooh, red grid of wonder." Yeah, it's very, these grids are pretty frustrating to work with if you don't do what I'm about to do to them. So it will cease to be a grid. Everything's gonna look eventually like this, which is kind of neat in and of itself. But when it actually renders, it's just gonna look like that. So, yeah. So, what I'm gonna do is go back into materials here. Oh, that's strange. I don't know where my bitmaps went. Unless this is the wrong material. There we go. Got them back. That's what I should have just done to begin with, rather than deleting them all. Nice shortcut here. This should be the second one here. We have this is Alpha 38. I'm just gonna do these one at a time. we go. So what I need to do is add a displacement map, and before I go any further, I'm just going to add a couple buttons here. There we go. And what else am I going to want? Oh yeah, I'm going to want Pro Optimizer. Yes. Pro Optimizer is sort of the decimation tool in Max. Alright. We're in business. I'm doing the thing I shouldn't do, and I'm working in a file with a whole bunch of other stuff, so it's going to take longer to save, but not too bad. Alright, so we're going to displace it by 30 meters, and we're going to attach a map as an instance right here. Yep, very good. And go into edit poly mode. Select this guy, and what I'm really just trying to do is call most of the negative space. So delete it. Alright, go back to displace, return it to 0 meters. There we go. Perfect. Just saving here. Use Pro Optimizer, calculate, make the vertex percent about 30% for now. And you'll see that what this did, let me go back into, I just moved everything around again. I realized that the little picture, the webcam is getting in the way of my button, so I moved some of them up here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So this is what I just made from just a plain plane. So it's got just enough geometry to still be able to do stuff with. You can always like kind of tessellate it. Oh wait, first I need to edit poly it and then tessellate it. Oops. If I want additional leeway. Because what this means is now I can go in and I can bend this thing. And like get what I need from that here. Oh, yeah. I just realized what I did. So I need to keep textures when I do Pro Optimizer. Good thing I caught that. I'm kind of surprised it's not a default, but seems like that would be a default. Now I'm getting some little black pieces here. I wonder if I get rid of tessellate, if those are still there. Yes, okay, so maybe I should just use Turbo Smooth or something else. Maybe tessellate's kind of bad news, but this is good enough to work with. So I'm gonna exit isolation mode and do this a few more times. Sorry, it's a little boring. It just engaged me with random questions or interesting topics while I do this if I'm bored. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to have to make a script, like a macro or something to automate this, because I'm going to end up having to do this a lot for the game. But right now it's that edge case where it's not worth the time making the thing. It's better to just roll through it. So anyways, so I just got my material from selected again, did a displace. Make the strength pretty high. I'm going to make it 40 this time. And then brought in this map to the map slot as an instance. Nested isolation. And edit poly. What I love is you can do something like a destructive edit like this. And let's see. Alright, and you can go back to displace and change it, and it doesn't mess up what's above it. Makes sense. That's I may end up displacing it a little bit anyways. I'm leaving displace in the modifier stack because I may end up displacing it by like 5 meters. Oh no, not 5 meters. Oh, gosh, no. Like 0.5 meters. Something to just give it a little bit of, see what that does. That's kind of bad looking. It wouldn't be so bad looking if I upped the amount of geometry I had. In fact, I can do that, but it's going to mess the Intopolis up above. So, it basically means I'm gonna have to do my displacement thing again. Which is not a... The problem is I'm gonna decimate this anyways, so however much I displace it is not gonna make a big deal, so I'll just roll with the flat stuff for now. What I like about the modifier stack is I can always go back, and it's the wonderful thing for the non-committal creators of us. See, this gives me kind of an idea of what the overall shape is, so I think I actually like using a little more geometry for this, and for the rest I'm going to turbo smooth them. Pro optimizer, give it a 30%. Actually, it can be more like 15%. And make sure to keep textures. Let's make it 20. Alright, this one's done. Yeah, they should be kind of growing here. Realizing I'm getting kind of a late start here, but I figure everyone's sleep is probably a little messed up right now, given circumstances. Oh. Maybe not everyone. But I'm gonna go ahead and turbo smooth this guy too. Yeah, might as well. It's not a lot of geometry, really. Oops. Displace. Material. It comes in. Oops! I accidentally got all scene materials. Nope, I just want that one. Something like that. It's pretty good. I might actually be a little more merciless. Nah, I'm gonna keep it like that. Yeah. I could always actually call it a little later if I really want to. Remember to keep textures, calculate, let's make it about 20%, and we're done. Gets a little faster each time. Just saving this guy here. Alright. Same deal. Turbo smooth, displace, get from selected. So for some reason this guy does not have a map. Let's see. Just gonna ignore that one. Because I don't think it's actually going to be very noticed. I don't know why that is, because I'm at plane 47. Diffuse 47 up here. Oh, you know what? That's why. know why that is. It's because I don't actually have these maps in the folder. I'll just use these for the time being. I actually don't need that many because they're complex enough as it is. So we got these guys. So that's what it looks like. Leave them a little closer together here. They don't need to be perfect. There's something very violent looking about this. Red on white. Alright. Now to start doing stuff with this. Finally. Okay, I think I'm gonna... First of all, I'm gonna save the full stack of this. And then make a copy of it. Just call it petals. See, now I can just collapse these. And start messing around with it here. And also, so I can actually kind of see it underneath in here. When I add maps. It's very pixelated in the preview, but that should be okay for these purposes. One very cool thing you can do is use a lattice modifier with mapped objects. Let's play with that before anything else. I've gotten some great effects with this. This is really good for the microbots. If I did a Voronoi tessellation, I could get, yeah, that's actually kind of helps to simulate swarms as well. The only problem is this is very heavy. These are not instanced in the scene the way, like, if you scattered a whole bunch of instances, so scattering stuff is often like a better way to go, but it's still pretty cool. It's a quick and dirty way to do things. So I might, save that aside. In fact, if I copy this modifier, let's try turbo smoothing this. You can see, let's see, so I'm gonna paste that. Oops, somehow I copied the turbo smooth. It's gonna take a while. Yeah. Lattice is not super fun to work with, and that when you get over a certain poly count, it's just kind of like gasps. for error. Now these are probably still going to be somewhat on a grid because oh, I kind of like that. This is workable. I mean, they're still building light cache here, but you know that's kind of neat. This looks like some of the stuff I actually want to have in my world. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this too. Copy the name. You can call it 1B. I'm trying to catalog these better. Now this is the one where I won't use lattice. So I'm going to start making flowers out of it. So I'm going to use one of my favorite ever tools, the FFV. Oh, hello Ghost of Christmas Future. Hello, hello. Yep, it's gonna be pretty crazy. It has a mechanic that I haven't actually seen in a point and click before. We need to test it to make sure it's fun. I do have a backup plan if it's not fun. The backup plan is less original, but would still be cool. But yeah, it's gonna be. I looked at the market of point and click games, and I want this to. There's a lot of games that are very, I mean, genre-wise, they tend to be very historical, Victorian, Edwardian, kind of mystery kind of thing, which is fine. But there's a lot of that out there, and I haven't seen anything that's this kind of like far future sci-fi kind of a deal in the genre yet. So I hope it's gonna be something fresh, and I'm really jazzed about it. Imagine, you know, you've got a bunch of little microbots forming all these crazy patterns, and you have to determine which swarms of microbots, you know, do the same kind of task based on the patterns they're making, and click all the ones that are in the same patterns together as a set. That kind of a thing. Yeah. Ghost of Christmas Future on Twitch says, imagine all the cool mechanics scrapped because they weren't fun. Yeah, and it really takes playtesting. I've learned about the value of that. There was a UI thing I wanted to do where, you know, when it was actually implemented, about 5 seconds into trying it out, I was like, no, this is not going to work this way. But in my head, it seemed like it would be great. And it was kind of comical timing, like how quickly I realized, like, You go get some water real quick. I don't even know if I can Alright. So what I'm getting right now is kind of a chaos because the spacing is a little too high. This would not be as much of a problem if the camera was looking... Well, here's the thing, is... Oh, I don't have my... So this particular scene is going to be in isometric view, although I'm going to have other scenes in the game that are in regular perspective. So it's going to look somewhat like this, and I think that the spacing is just a little too much right now. But you can see that there's this evolution. When I add symmetry, there's this a morphing, a look of change running through these planes. So, let's get these things, closer together here. Actually, I'm even gonna scrap the FFB. I'll just have to copy and paste it later. Yeah, I'm gonna get these just closer together. Something more like this. Because they're gonna spread apart when I do the transform anyways. You can see that I applied the same transform that I just had before. I love the ability to copy and paste modifiers, very useful. Get that symmetry on. Oh no! That's funny. Is I had only one selected. I have to go into my... Okay, there we go. That's cooler. I want this thing that looks kind of spider-webby, this very wispy. I was also thinking about maybe making these air purifiers. I've got a different look for the solar stuff. I want to show multiple technologies in parallel, so I may end up trying this in a couple different ways and just see what works best. I have a bunch of sketches for this stuff, but I also like the process of play in 3D, and if I try to follow sketches too closely, it can not only make things stiff, but you kind of lose the opportunity for happy accidents. There we go. So you see I just pasted that FFD, so now it's got that nice floral. Now I can play around with what I'm going to show. to make sure two-sided plane is enabled. That's a little better. It's not there yet. I'm also probably going to put an illuminance map on these two, because, yeah, it would be cool. So there's a fog of war kind of mechanic in this game where there's these cobwebby growths with the technology. It's kind of a byproduct of the technology that people just have to kind of clean every once in a while, and cleaning it kind of reveals stuff underneath. So you might be looking for something that's behind this stuff. And so I could... This is actually, rather than looking like the air purifiers I wanted, this is looking a little closer to that. So, in the interest of this prototype level I'm making now, I may save this one back to use as that. Because I was hoping for something like a little more dense for the air purifiers. But, I have many decisions to make. Oh, nice. I actually like that really gauzy kind of a look. So I'm gonna save this. Wow, that's barely there. This is what happens if I don't pull this stuff aggressively enough. It's like barely there. Hello, Johnny Cats. How's it going? If anybody's new here, just feel free to ask me any questions. Kind of a bummer that I have to keep doing preview renderings. It's just very hard to see what's actually going on. I can go into somebody's user interface and go into colors. And it's somewhere in this big list of options. There's the ability to take active active geometry selections and turn down the opacity. So let's see. I do not see it here. I'm not a big fan of how these are organized. It's very hard to find what does what in here. It'd be very cool if you had one of those UIs where you just go into color change mode and you could just hover over different elements and right click and like change their color. But no, here you have to know what everything's called. And I don't know if looking for the ability to do this is worth it. What I could just do is switch gears and just do something that's not this. The plane mapping stuff is not as ideal for streaming. This is more like, you know... Just the nice thing about preview renders is I can switch tasks while doing them. See, I wanted to make like a calla lily kind of a thing. It's not the way to do. I actually think this would look better. I'm just gonna start from scratch on this FFB. Because I think that this blue part is actually going to look better. Let's see. According to Facebook, the stream is cutting out. That's unfortunate. My internet seems to be good. Let me check my internet speed and just see what's going on. Speed test time. I've been wondering about the reliability of streaming when everybody is at home in the quarantine right now. Upload speed 9 megabits. Well, that's about what I think it's supposed to get. It's a little lower, but so yeah, is just the audio cutting out? Because I have had the issue where my background music, if I'm playing background music that's considered copyright, I think it'll sometimes silence it. Okay, I'm told that the audio is back now. Which, by the way, I will link the album that is currently playing. Alright. Alright. So apparently the whole feed was cutting out. Maybe it's because everybody's streaming so much now. Thanks for letting me know, guys. I'm just sharing the album here. Oh yeah, I see. I think that it cut out also on Twitch. Bummer. Alright. Well, hopefully that was just a fluke. So I think the next time I do one of these plane maps is I'm going to make the jumps a little bigger, because there's too much repetition, I think, going on right now. Going every 3 was not enough to create the kind of visual interest I was hoping for. But I'll be doing many more of these. This is just I used to do a lot of this plane map stuff, and this is gonna but it's been a little while, so kind of getting back into the swing of it. I'll start doing some for realsy, like geometry modeling again. This is kind of its own thing. It's a technique I've been honing for a while now. I'm wondering, it's possible that doing the renderings is cutting out the stream. I'm kind of curious if when I render and show something like this, if maybe. It's a little more like it. I wanted, yeah, this is closer to it. If I put some kind of a ball in the middle, this gets really crazy when you start adding self-illumination, and like I could add a V-ray light in here, and it's gonna start looking real nice, real fast. I'm not actually into the purple though. I have a somewhat limited palette in the scene, and I don't have a lot of purple. I'm actually not a big purple fan. Yeah, you can see that with the exception of a couple personal pieces where I really pushed using it, I tend to avoid it. Alright. Let's have some fun here. Alright, this album is finished. Let's see if there's other albums. I'm starting a different album here. I'll link that in just a second here. Alright, let's add a light in here. I'm gonna make a sphere first. Just a plain sphere. And I want to make it, I'm going to taper it a little bit. Close enough here. kind of an egg going here. Actually, this is way too big because the bulk of what we'd actually be seeing in these petals. I don't want to cover that up too much. Hello, Fresh Prince of Bellerin on Twitch. It's good to see you for the first time on the stream. Yeah, Magic Fest Dallas was fun. That was a good one. That was one of my favorite ones of last year. Bummed I can't get to see you guys this year. So yeah. So I am making a flower of sorts here. So I wanted to have this thing catch a light, or cast a light, I mean. I'm gonna give a shell to the egg. That's kind of a funny thing. Oh man, I just realized I had complete disregard for how big this was in the scene when I started this. Ah, it's about the size I wanted actually. Alright, back to it here. So I want to have this band of light kind of being cast by this. Now let me think more about what kind of light I want to cast. Well, for now I'm just going to add a delete mesh modifier. And what this does is it deletes it, but doesn't really delete it. I can always turn off delete mesh to bring it back, which is a nice non-destructive way to work. And I can take a copy of this, get rid of said delete mesh, get rid of the shell, and this will be my diffuser. I'll give it a smaller shell. Alright, so let me engage my my translucent materials here. See what kind of I've got various kinds of frosted. This is kind of a classic diffuser I'll use. And now create a V-Ray light. I want a sphere light. Give it a smaller radius, under options, make it invisible. I'm gonna give it a nice color here. Oh yeah, I forgot. I said I didn't like purple and I didn't want these petals to be purple, didn't I? I got distracted. Hold on. Alright, so here are the materials of the petals. And I'm going to put a color correction map on them, and I'm going to shift the hue such that I can get rid of some of the purple. Okay. Sorry, purple lovers. I'm just not feeling it with this one. The standing this time. Alright. See what I can do with this gonna try shifting the hue until I get something that I like here. Bad. Bad. See, I really... Okay, this is better. This is more of what I wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this to all the rest of these here. I also may illuminate it as well. I actually have a way to adjust multiple maps at once with the scripts that I don't remember where I stashed it, so I'm just gonna do it later. When I stream, I try not to spend too much time browsing for folders if I can help it. Just dull. Ah. It's still kind of Mardi Gras color. Okay, oh no, I can't escape from the... So one of my least favorite colors is that like pinkish purple fuchsia, and I think I might have actually created more of that. Let's see what I'm working with. Oh no! I made it purpler. It is kind of cool looking though. It's got kind of like a peacock look to it. I don't know, maybe I should just leave it alone. I'm beveling my polygon right now. That's kind of neat looking. It's not what I'm going for, but I love these kinds of happy accents. You get 3D. I'm just for the fun of it. I'm gonna see if I can do anything that doesn't look too glitchy out of this mistaken devil. Neat if I give it a twist, literally. Let's see what happens. That's not fantastic. I don't like it. I'm just trying to create this little seed pod look. That's all I was doing. So I made a V-Ray light. And I still need to actually add this to my flower. So it's now inside the egg. And because we've got sun on right now, actually, let's turn the sun down. Come on. I'm pressing V-Ray light lister. Oh. It's off my monitor. There we go. Oh, that's funny. I don't think I actually set up a V-Ray sun in the scene yet. Oh. No time like the present. Yeah, it looks like I did it before. I don't know what's going on. But what I wanted to do initially was turn down the sun's strength and the intensity multiplier at about 0.5. This should allow the light inside the flower to shine through. I may also add an illumination map to the flower. So it's the light's not bright enough. I can also increase actually, let me look at my one scripts. I may have actually put... No, I didn't. Do not have... See, what I can do is I can also turn the alpha to a self-illumination map, which can also help the thing glow, but it's not going to glow a whole lot. Yeah, doesn't make a huge difference unless I pump up the amount in the map. If I go into my history, I can... Yeah, it's super subtle. In fact, it's hard to even tell at all. Because I hadn't fully rendered that second one. Oh, pfft, my multiplier is only 30. Yeah, well, there we go. Let's make it 400. There we go. Let there be light. So I'm not going to deal with, this is not a very good design for the middle part. I wasn't planning to model that yet. I was actually going to go back to modeling some other stuff. I wanted to make like a calla lily kind of a design based on this bitmap. Haven't gotten around to that yet. See what happens if I pump the light up even more and change its color. We'll just use light lister. Save everything here. What's fun is I can shift this by a different amount for each one. So I did 134, 120, 110, 100. Just to see what happens here. So lots of changes are going to happen when I hit that button. Ooh! That's more what I'm talking about. I mean, it still has purple in it, but I think I can live with this amount of purple. I'm trying to find a good technique for color correcting. Yeah. One thing that kind of annoys me is the shape of these. I'll go back into my regular symmetry. Oh! Looks like I accidentally converted everything to edit poly. I don't want to do that yet. That's more what I want. I don't want these duplicates. I want it to kind of go together into one. Okay, that's a little... Except, I think the key to making this more interesting is to do the offset, the symmetry offset different for each one. Ghost Christmas Future says, looks like part of an origin myth from an early 2000s JRPG. Nice. I have not played that kind of game, but picture it definitely has like this like kind of a mystical look to it right now. I'm gonna save a copy of this. One nice thing about doing all these preview renders is it gives me a chance to stretch. Okay, so I am going to shake this up a little bit. I want to have maybe this one here. I'm going to change its radial slicer. I'm going to change the symmetry. This is the one I really want to change. And this one is underneath the one on top. Oh, wait. No. I need to make this modifier unique first. And now everything else should remain. There we go. Everything else should remain. So now I'll do the same thing here. I'll make this symmetry modifier unique. Because I applied this modifier to multiple objects. And so when it does that, if you affect the modifier in one, you affect all of them. And I'm trying to go in to the individual ones now and do more fun stuff here. Alright, so by breaking this up, I should have a much more interesting thing happening here. It's a little more interesting, yeah. I'm gonna try actually putting this in context here. No, I think it's a little too colorful too, actually. I'm going to lighten it and actually, yeah, I'm just gonna lighten it by 7. Notice that, you know, I'm not affecting the alpha map at all. Yeah, it's a little better. Another thing I could do, which is I could make this part more transparent. Let me turn the refraction up. So you notice how this changes the refraction amount by a little better here. And see, the thing is that I made the light invisible. So I don't actually need a diffuser. Well, it's gonna look about the same. Yes. I'll just type pure clear glass on it. Ah, that's kind of a cool look. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go with the clear glass on this one. Yeah, I dig this. Once I have some geometry that I can replace this with that will make for a much more fitting and interesting edge. Yeah. Have a winner on our material here. I'm gonna try something real quick here. I can't get the loops I wanted. Yeah. It looks like a weird Easter egg. I'm actually, that looks better in my head. I'm just gonna delete it. I could go in and select some of the smaller... No, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna replace this egg with something else. What I wanted to do though is when I have this group I can move it over to some of these guys. So these are the stalks I was initially going to put the calla lilies on, but I'm going to go ahead and try this. This might actually... I was hoping to break up all the radial symmetry on these guys, because they're very, like... They're like baskets. They're supposed to be these, like, vertical farms kind of things. That's actually not too bad. Just restyling this here. Probably went a little too big with that, but I was figuring, well, there's only one way to find out, I guess. Ooh! Before I preview render, I'm gonna do something I wanted to do earlier. Just to shell this, and clone it, make the radius smaller. What I'm going to do is turn this into a light. So I am going to take this diffuser, and I'm gonna make its diffuse color like a green kind of thing. Alright. And now you take the light that's inside of it. Well, it's not a light yet, but it's about to be. So I'm going to do a mesh light. Basically converts this light to a mesh. Let's give it a brightness of 700 like the last one. Color blue like before. Alright, should be pretty set up for this. Neat. I just think that this part now is too crunchy compared to think about this a little bit. For one thing, it's a little too bright. We'll go back to my mesh light. Let's turn it to like 300. Ooh, I have an idea. Okay, so the egg in the middle is now too large. I overdid it. I'm getting tired of the foodies now. Let me find some other music here. Okay. Well, let's make it 0.7 for now. want to like pull this downward a little bit. It needs something to offset the crunchiness of what's going on down here. I also kind of like the idea of it, I really want to break up the symmetry. I'm gonna try a giant FFD on this. So yeah, what was I doing? Oh yeah. Maybe distract from the minute here. Auto saving here. Just my one problem with modeling this way, it's just so hard to tell what you're gonna get until you actually render. I know I can do real-time rendering. I thought about enabling it for this, but I don't want to slow down the stream too much. I'm gonna put a few invisible lights down here, and I also need a really good sheet with this liquid. Oh, this is where I'll do the calla lily thing. Okay, I just realized what I'm gonna do with this. There's actually a couple things I'm gonna do with this. So I think I have a cool way to add some lights. Let's see, how am I gonna work this? Just need a copy. This is my material. And you need to copy this whole material. I'm going to do some. I'm going to turn off the opacity and turn up the self-illumination and do a lattice modifier. I think that will give me what I want. Let's make self-illumination 500. Wait! Oh! This particular material is a standard material. It's not going to let me do self-illumination above 100. I can fix that. Yeah, that's right. I didn't convert my materials to V-Ray. Well, I can still do that. I haven't done this conversion in a little while. I'm trying to remember exactly where the tool is that does it. It's called V-Ray Material Converter. Let's search for it. It's V-Ray Steam Converter. Oh no, I may have just made a grave mistake. I don't use this tool very much. Well, it looks right. Oh, I think I know. Because, hold on. Alright, I think I need to... Okay, yeah. It just doesn't always auto-update the maps. So, what I should have now are V-Ray materials. Yeah. Delete these guys. Alright, now I'm a little more familiar with what I'm doing here. Because V-Ray materials allow you to turn your self-illumination up beyond 100%. At least last time I did it, they did. Glad I caught that early. All right. What was I doing here? Okay, yes. I do remember I was going to get some more brightness into more materials. Go to maps, and now I should be able to set self-illumination. Yes! Haha! Bless you, V-Ray. Bless you. So now I'm going to use this tool that I used earlier called Pro Optimizer to decimate these meshes, and I'm going to put on I just want to make sure. Oh no, I may have actually. Oh yeah, I should have duplicated. It's okay. I'm just gonna have to do this for the other ones. Not a big mistake. It's okay. Everything will just look like everything's gonna look way too bright right now. Oh, it's actually not that bright. Never mind. Oh, no, it is a little too bright. Yeah. This is my plan for making everything crunchier. Just bear with me. And see, I'm going to do this calla lily-like sheath that's going to go around a lot of this, so it's going to cover up a lot of the stalk and only little bits are going to come through. That's kind of the plan for this one. And so I'm going to do variations on the same theme for all the stalks, and this will be one of the sets for the... So yeah, so what I currently did, by mistake, I'll just fix it right now, is select all these, go into isolation mode, select panel lights, so that's what this is going to be. Now I just invert that and assign all these to it. Oh, this isn't a multi-material. Darn. How am I going to transfer this one? Just going to offset them here. This is the original one. This is the one called Petal Lights that needs to be bright. So that one's already taken care of. So I need to take this original and I need to ungroup and figure out which material goes to which. Oh, this is still a standard, I guess. That's what it says it is. Just gonna proceed with my original plan. Just optimize this so that when I add the lattice modifier, it's not quite as overwhelming. Get rid of all the struts, make them mycosa, make the radius about 0.4, just like what I was doing before. And we have all these little balls now. Actually make the radius more like 1. That's better. And then this was going to be the one that I was going to see what this does now is this inherits the material. See exactly what I have to work with here. So it looks like these are the only 2 materials in this. I should have 4 different materials. But they're still doing make self-illumination. So I got rid of opacity for this one. Let's make it 1,000. That's gonna look really pretty in the night version. So it looks like I just select them all, that's why I was... Stuff I have to work with here. This is what I did last stream. I still haven't actually put it in the game yet. I'm kind of... Here's where I just kind of get distracted and start doing other stuff. But it's necessary stuff, so I'm not gonna apologize. Yeah, see, this helps make it a little more reinforced. What am I doing? I can just align this. Yeah, it's getting late. I'm starting to like fade a little bit here. In the future I'll have to like stream earlier. Let's see. Setting my angle snap 1 so I can make this 72. I don't remember if I made this an instance or not. Oh boy. It's usually a sign I should either take a break. Oh, it is an instance. Yeah, I checked. There we go. Whew. Yeah, see, now it looks like it's a little more braced. That was bothering me about that one before. But these two may have to change the materials of a lot because they're not similar enough to be part of a set. But people who are very sensitive to this form language or might think it's a set. And this is where This is where designing this game gets difficult. There's just a lot of these edge cases, and I definitely want both of these in the scene. The nice thing is that there's going to be different levels for this, and so if one of these, I could always spread them out, put this one in a different level, and then you don't have to worry about the confusion. Well, I'll be able to crank out stuff that looks like this. This one I was streaming now a lot faster. I haven't been doing this kind of plane mapping thing for quite some time. I was doing it a lot a couple of years ago. So yeah. The first level is only going to be day, I think. I could add it at night later, but I really should be designing this more for daytime. I could bring back the sun here. Intensity multiplier set to 1 again. Now what's fun is I could always, because all of this is saved in modifiers, I could go in and I could do a separate version where I'm more aggressive in how I cull these. See how there's like so many of these out on the outside here. What I'll probably end up doing is paint selecting them and just deleting the mesh underneath the, I mean I could do that now I guess. Turn off lattice. And just select the polygons. And basically go into polypaint mode. And what's nice about this is I can be a little irregular with it. Try to further break up that symmetry. Do delete mesh again. Easy peasy. Oh. So now I shouldn't have as much of an issue with like too much overextension of little dots. Yeah, see, they're a lot more manageable now. Sweet. So making the calla lily part would actually be perfect for Gravity Sketch VR. It's really good for doing curves in space. So at some point when I get my my VR headset set up on this laptop again, I'm going to show a demo of maybe this will be a good one for doing that. So yep. So that is it's starting to fade here. So I think I am going to go for the night. Thank you for everybody who came by and watched the stream. I will keep doing this. And yep. Have a great night.